This will be for the Khan Academy exercise, Evaluate Logarithms Advanced. All right, so I went over this in the previous video, Evaluate Logarithms, the one that's not advanced. Anyhow, we can convert back and forth between exponential and logarithmic forms. Okay, so the exercises, the problems will be in this form, logarithmic form, and we need to convert that to exponential form. Okay, remember the letter A represents the argument. That's the item that you're taking the log of. B represents the base. Okay, that's the number that's being raised to a certain exponent. The base on the logarithm is written down and to the right of the log. And X is the exponent. Okay, the base is being raised to that power. All right, so X is the exponent, B is the base, A is the argument. We need to translate these to exponential form, logarithmic to exponential form. All right, so we have this equation here in logarithmic form. So this is in the form of log base B of A, and that equals X. Okay, so whatever we get for X, that's going to be our answer. We want to translate this into exponential form. All right, so the logarithmic form written in exponential form, that's going to be b to the power of x equals a. So let's see what we have for b right here. We can see clearly that b equals 6. All right, x is what we're looking for. We don't know x. And the argument a, that's what we are taking the log of. All right, so we can clearly see that a is 1 over 36. All right, so we want to get matching bases on both sides of this equation. We want to have b to a certain power equals b to a certain power. Now, usually, you take the larger number and translate it into the smaller number. So, most of you can do this in your head. Just leave 6 to the power of x. Leave that alone. All right, 6 to the power of x. And we know that 36 is the same as 6 squared. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over 6 squared. Okay, because I had a 6 here, I wanted to write the 36 in terms of 6. All right, and continuing, we have 6 to the x. We want to keep that. And recall, if you take this entire denominator and shift it into the numerator, you just change the plus minus sign on the 6. So 1 over 6 squared is equivalent to 6 to the negative 2. All right, recall if you have, let's say you have 1 over b to the power of x. Okay, and you take this and shift it into the numerator, that becomes b to the power of negative x. You just change the plus minus sign on the exponent. So that's all I did here. 1 over 6 squared is equivalent to 6 to the negative 2. All right, and now that I have matching 6's on both sides, I can simply equate the exponents, and we have x equals negative 2. So that's it. All right, once the base number matches on both sides, the exponents can be equal to each other, set equal to each other. So x equals negative 2, and that just goes right in the box. Okay, just negative 2 without the x. All right, so negative 2 right in the box. Okay, here we have log base 16 of 1/2. So this is in the form of log base b of a, and that's going to equal x. All right, translating logarithmic form to exponential form, that's going to be b to the x equals a. So matching everything up, we see that b is going to be 16, and the item that you're taking the log of That's going to be A. So B is 16. X we don't know. And A is going to be 1/2. All right. Now, I know usually you take the larger number and convert it to the smaller number. 2 is the smaller number, so I'm going to convert 16 into powers of 2. All right. You can do this on your calculator or by hand. You want to break up the 16 into 2s. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. Can't break up the 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Can't break up the 2. And 4 is 2 times 2. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 is equivalent to 2 to the 4th. Okay, alternatively, you can just take your calculator and keep multiplying 2 until you get 16. See how many times you do it. All right, so let's see here if I have room. I'm going to replace 16 with 2 to the 4th. So instead of 16, that's going to be 2 to the 4th. And that's raised to the power of x. And 1/2 is the same as 2 to the negative 1. All right, so we went over that last time. This is 2 to the first power. And if I take that and shift it into the numerator, it becomes 2 to the negative 1. All right, almost there. When you have something with an exponent raised to another exponent, you just multiply the exponents. So this is going to be 2 to the 4x. And that equals 2 to the negative 1. All right, since the 2's match on both sides, we can equate the exponents. 4x equals negative 1. All right, solving for x, the opposite of times 4 is divided by 4. And, of course, the 4's cancel. We're left with negative 1/4. All right, so negative 1/4 right in the box. Negative 1/4. All right, here we have log base 16 of 8. So this is in the form of log base b of a equals x. All right, and translating to exponential, that's going to be b to the x equals a. So I can see that b, the base, is 16. X is the term we don't know. And a is clearly 8. Now, in this case, I cannot write 16 in terms of 8 to a certain power. So we are going to have to break up both of these. Okay? 16 is 4 squared, but I can't do 4 to a certain power to get 8. So we're going to have to go all the way down to the number 2. All right? So I know that 2 to the 3rd equals 8. All right, 2 multiplied 3 times would give us 8, and 2 multiplied 4 times would give us 16. All right, if you can't do it in your head, you can take the calculator and just keep doing 2 times 2 times 2 until you get 16, or you can do it manually, breaking it up into factors. Okay, 16 is 8 times 2, 8 is 4 times 2, and 4 is 2 times 2. Okay, and as you can see, we are left with 4 2s. So 2 to the 4th is 16. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, we can rebuild this equation with 2's on both sides. We said 16 is 2 to the 4th. So I'm going to rewrite 16 as 2 to the 4th. And that is raised to the power of x. 8 is equivalent to 2 to the 3rd. All right, when you have something with an exponent raised to another exponent, you just multiply. So 2 to the 4x equals 2 to the 3rd. And now we have matching bases. 2 equals 2. so we can match the exponents for x equals 3. Solving for x, the opposite of times 4 is divided by 4. So x equals 3/4. All right, 3/4 right in the box.